Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Khoj Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. The recitation is from Dhanasari Mahalla Panjwa, composition of the fifth Nanak Gur Arjan. And the first verse, the Rahao, Ik Oankar Satgur Prasad, Ha ha Prabh Rakh leho, हम ते किछु ना होए मेरे स्वामी, कर कृपा अपना नाम देहो. Rahao. This is literally an anguished cry, a distress signal. Ha ha, I'm in anguish. Prabh Rakh leo. Prabh, the inner knower, the master, protect me, save me. Hum te kishu na hoye mere swami, O my master, mere swami, hum te kishu na hoye. Nothing is possible through me. Kar kirpa, favor me, grace me, apna naam de. Give me your naam. So, as I said, this is really a distress signal, a cry of vulnerability, of urgency, of acknowledgement of one's limitations. This is an existential recognition that by myself alone, hamte kishu na hoy, nothing is possible. And the plea is, grant me your naam, which is self-knowledge, wisdom. Grant me your wisdom, the ground of all being. So, naam, wisdom, is intrinsic to the divine principle. And that is what the Guru here says we ought to be seeking. And then moving on to the next verse, family life as fire. Agan kutumb sagar sansar param moho agyan andhar. Family life, worldly existence, is an ocean of fire. And it is filled with param, doubt, moho, attachment, and the darkness of ignorance, agyan andhar. So this is simply recognition of the consuming, demanding, destructive nature of life when approached with ego consciousness. It is vast because it's ocean-like, it's overwhelming. It threatens to drown the individual consciousness. And then there is the threefold darkness of doubt, of attachment, of ignorance. So consciousness is trapped in an ego structure that experiences existence as threatening, as a fire, as an ocean in which it might drown. So it's flailing its arms. And then the mind is insatiable. Uch neech sukh dukh tarapas nahi trisana pokh. So the mind oscillates, the highs and the lows, pleasure and pain, seeking and avoiding. This is the dutiya bhav that we spoke about in the previous Sabbath. Tarapas nahi, and it is never satisfied. This is the permanent condition of Trishna, craving. And this is, if you recall, the agitation, the atur in the previous Shabad, produced by ego's control seeking, because it's being tossed around, perpetual grasping. So essentially, the ego project is futile, because no matter what is acquired, craving remains, because the structure that craves is still intact. It is going to continue doing what it has been doing. What has it been doing? The next verse. Mane bhasana racha bikhe bead, panch doot sangam maha asad. Desires are woven in the mind and they create affliction and disease, bikhe bead. And then, in the company of the five thieves, panchadut, or the passions, consciousness becomes incurable, maha asad, incurable, chronic disease. How mein dirag rog hai, daru bhi ismaye. So deep-seated desires, karmic impressions, meaning habitual patterns, are woven, constructed into the mind. And this creates toxic patterns, bikya bead, disease, affliction. The desires themselves become the poison. And the passions simply lend fuel to these distractions. So the mechanism is being explained here. The mind weaves desires, desires become toxic patterns, and in the company of destructive forces, the affliction becomes even deeper. And so the ask in the final verse is Ji jahan pran dhan tera nanak jan sada har nera. Recognition and reversal. Life, world, breath, wealth. Tera. Nanak jan sada har nera. Says Nanak, know that the har, that immanence is always near. So you see, the first three verses catalogued our helplessness, our afflictions. And here it pivots to Ji Jahan Pran Dhan Tera. What ego thought it possessed and must protect, even life itself, belongs to and emanates from the divine principle. So the earlier shabads that we explored talk about this. Jan Apuna. We are generated beings. Jan Sada Har Nera. So to know, despite the overwhelming catalog of suffering, to know that the Har is always near, perpetually intimate, never absent, is what Nam gives you. So this is the condition, the human condition of helplessness that Guru Arjan speaks to, yet concludes with the recognition that the divine principle is always intimately present. So in the first three verses, the problem, that of ego consciousness, and then the plea in the Rahau, and then the resolution. So what is hopeless is actually revealed to be sustained and cured by the Har, which is intimately present. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.